I call this meeting of the House Ways and Means Committee to order and note for the record that a quorum is present. And the first order of business is we have 2 sets of minutes to approve. So Representative Vice Chair Edelson, would you move the minutes from Wednesday, March 1st, 2023?
That's my motion.
Any discussion to the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The motion prevails and the minutes are adopted. The next is the approval of the minutes from Monday, March 6, 2023. Vice Chair Edelson, could I get a motion on those?
That's the motion.
Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The motion prevails and the minutes are adopted. We have 2 bills on the calendar for today, and the first is House File 1656. So Representative Acomb, would you like to move that House File 1656 be re-referred to the General Register?
Thank you, Madam Chair. That is my motion.
Excellent. And you have a amendment, the A3 amendment. Would you like to move that amendment before you describe the bill?
Yes, I would like to move the A3, please.
So Representative Acomb moves the A3 amendment. Any discussion to the A3 amendment? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The motion prevails and the A3 amendment is adopted. To your bill as amended, Representative Acomb.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Last year, the federal government passed 2 historic pieces of legislation with the bipartisan infrastructure law as well as the Inflation Reduction Act. And House File 1656, as amended, establishes the State Competitiveness Fund that will ensure that our state receives its fair share of these federal funds. There are dozens of programs within the federal bills that can help our state address energy issues, inefficiencies, expanding and securing transmission, as well as continuing to be innovative. These programs can help utilities meet our state's 100% clean energy goals by transitioning to renewable energy, as well as help state and local government invest in energy efficiency and ultimately save taxpayer dollars. This bill is an expansion of a bill that was introduced last session and was ultimately a part of the conference committee report. And it's estimated that for every dollar invested in this program, there will be a $7 to $8 return on investment. Currently, other states are competing for these federal dollars, and we need to make sure that Minnesota is getting its fair share. And so maybe I will just tell you a little bit about the bill. We did receive an updated fiscal note today, which was reflected in the amendment, which doesn't, it's not in the fiscal note, but which was reflected as a part of the amendment today. We're reducing the total dollar amount from $156 million down to $115 million, and that is to be in line with the governor's budget. Both the House and the Senate recognize the need for a larger amount, but we know also that we need to move quickly and make these funds available to our state and entities throughout the state. And I will just say there's going to be an effort, depending on targets, to continue working for this throughout the budget, for additional funds throughout the budget process. But so just in looking at the bill, so Section 1 establishes the Minnesota State Competitiveness Fund. The next, Subdivision 1 provides definitions. Subdivision 2 establishes the account in the Special Revenue Fund. Subdivision 3 establishes the eligible entities and prioritization of the grant awards. Subdivision 4 establishes a grant writing assistance program. Subdivision 5 establishes grant amounts and the percentage limitations for awards. Subdivision 6 defines the grant awards must be administered and that the Department of Commerce must provide technical assistance with that. And Subdivision 7 sets forth the requirement for an annual audit and defines the reporting requirements. And so as defined for the appropriations, the overall total appropriation is $115 million. There is, so $100 million will be for the matching funds. $6 million on top of that will be for small grants. For actually, that 6 million will be for capacity development. 6.75 will be for 6,750,000 will be for the Department of Commerce Administration, 1.5 million for IT, and 750,000 for audits and reports. So with that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Representative Acomb. Discussion to the bill. Lead Garofalo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Acomb, on page 6, lines 7 and 8. You know, I read it wrong. I just figured it out. Never mind. So after 4 years, this program essentially sunsets. This is funded with one-time money. Is that correct?
This is one-time money that, I'm so sorry, Madam Chair.
Representative Acomb.
Yes, this is one-time money. The money will be available within the fund until 2034.
Okay. Go ahead. You continue your
Representative
answer.
Garofalo.
And the money will be available until 2034.
So 2034.
Yeah, now, I would,
Representative Acomb. It's great. Everybody's doing great. Keep going, Representative Acomb.
Madam Chair, I'm so sorry.
You're doing great. It's okay. Representative Acomb.
Yeah, so now I lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
Representative Garofalo.
Oh, thank you. That's good. No, so 11 FTEs, though. The one thing I do want to ask about is, so last night when I looked online, I did not see the fiscal note. So I don't know if whatever processes we use to post the fiscal note on the website, if we could just make sure that those are posted out there, that'd be helpful. And it's entirely possible I was wrong, but when I looked on the website last night, it wasn't there. So.
Thank you, Representative Garofalo, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Adrians.
Madam Chair and Representative Garofalo, we had a fiscal note on language before it was drafted into a bill, so it would have been coded as like 9014. So it would have been a little bit confusing and maybe not as easily accessible. So the update to the fiscal note was just to make sure it was coded to the correct House file number.
Okay, so it probably was there, I just didn't see it. Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion to the bill? Representative Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I hate to go after our lead. I don't know if that was your close or not.
Nope,
Pat.
it was, that's fine.
Okay, but I just had a question about there's some FTEs associated with the bill, and so when the program expires or the money runs out, so those people won't have jobs anymore, basically, that phases out as well. Madam Chair,
Representative
thank you.
Acomb.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative. Yes, so the funds only go for so long, so I presume that would, as the work dries up, so would their jobs.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion to the bill? Okay, seeing none, any last comments? Representative Acomb.
I appreciate the opportunity, and I thank you for your support.
So Representative Acomb renews her motion that House File 1656 as amended be re-referred to the General Register. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The motion prevails and House File 1656 as amended has been re-referred to the General Register. Thank you. The next bill on the calendar on our agenda for today is House File 2033, Representative Klevorn.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members.
Thank you. And would you like to move that House File 2033 be re-referred to the General Register?
Thank you. That is my motion, Madam Chair.
Wonderful. And you have an A1 amendment. Would you like us to move would you like to move the amendment to get the bill in the shape before describing it?
Thank you. I do move the A1 amendment.
Great. All those in favor of the A1 amendment, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The motion prevails and the A1 amendment is adopted. So to your bill as amended, Representative Klevorn.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. The Office of Administrative Hearings, the OAH, is one of 3 courts located within the executive branch. The OAH has broad jurisdiction that includes fair campaign practice complaints and certain data practices matters. The OAH receives a small appropriation from the general fund to maintain hearings in these 2 areas. The appropriation for fiscal year 2023 was $137,000. In committee, in the State Government Committee before coming here, Judge Starr explained that because of the significant increases in case filings, that appropriation was fully expended within the first quarter of the current fiscal year. The bill before you, as amended, provides $196,000 as a one-time appropriation from the general fund to the Office of Administrative Hearings for fiscal year 2023 to maintain fair, timely, and impartial hearings in campaign and data practice matters. I have with me today, if needed, Judge Eric Lipman, who can answer any questions that members might have regarding OAH. Thank you. That's the bill.
Thank you, Representative Klevorn. Discussion to House File 2033. Representative Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't know about the other members of my committee. I haven't talked to them on this bill, but to me, this is the best money you've spent all season, or all
thank you.
legislative session, so I'm going to ask members to support it. Thank you. Thank you, Judge Lippman, for being here.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Representative Scott.
Further discussion to the bill. Representative Novotny.
Thank you, Chair. My question is, you described dramatic increase in the cases. Can you describe what those are coming from, or what's the nexus of those cases? Or
Madam Chair, if you would address Judge Lipman.
Judge Lippman, please introduce yourself for the record and proceed with answering the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Eric Lipman. I'm an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearings, in fact, a senior administrative law judge. Madam Chair, Representative, we don't in fact know the etiology of this large increase. We know that there's been essentially a tripling in the filings in these areas, fair campaign practices and data practices. Ordinarily, our office of the Administrative Law Division bills our service at a rate that is set by Minnesota Management and Budget to the state agencies that we work for. In these areas, data practices and fair campaign practices, we're in the transparency business. It's for the good of the order. It's not for a particular state agency. It's making sure that citizens have genuine access or recourse if they think that a government agency is withholding data that they should disclose, or if a competitor in a campaign is violating the law and somehow obtaining an advantage, a political advantage, in advance of the election season. Perhaps, my theory, only my private theory, is that as society becomes more polarized, as things become more intense between red and blue and the various colors that there are in the political landscape, the need for transparency and cooler heads, independent assessments of problems becomes more important and more necessary. So it is with regret that there's been a tripling of our cases, but I think it's to Minnesota's great credit that we're as open and as transparent as we are in data practices, and likewise in assuring public confidence in elections through administration of the Fair Campaign Practices Act.
Representative Novotny.
quick follow-up. Thank you, Chair. If one were to want to find where that information would be on the origin of these cases or the general area where these cases are coming from, where would you find that?
Judge Lippman.
Madam Chair, Representative Novotny, all of our decisions in campaign practices and in data practices are published online at our website, min.gov/OAH. It's I think they're well written, but it takes a certain bent to go through all of the cases. But you could certainly see all of the 80 reported decisions. Forgive me, Madam Chair.
No, you're just fine.
Representative Klevorn.
Madam Chair, Representative Novotny, I do have another bill that'll be coming later this year that I'll ask for your support, which will make that portal much easier to navigate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, Representative Klevorn, last word to your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As I think Representative Scott said it best, this is a great bill. This organization does great work, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
So with that, Representative Klevorn renews her motion that House File 2033 as amended be re-referred to the General Register. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. The motion prevails, and House File 2033 as amended has been re-referred to the General Register. And with that, members, we have no further business and don't anticipate needing another meeting this week. So we will see you at our regular meeting time next week, but always just keep your ears and eyes ready for any notices that may come across if something happens differently. And with that, we are adjourned.